on the show, it's a summer movie double feature. We're going to be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy and also talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel Now comics and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Woo! Yeah,
Woo!
Go monkeys.
Before we get started, this episode is sponsored by Space Wolf Limited.
Space Wolf Limited.
Yes, Space Wolf Limited creates these beautiful laser engraved wooden posters. They're 11 by 17. They're limited edition. They come in editions of 50. So once they're sold out, they're gone forever. And then he comes out with a new set in a little bit. They have a beautiful Breaking Bad poster, Battle Royale. We've got this Cthulhu bad boy, if you're into Lovecraft like me. We also have True Detective left and an awesome Frankenstein. So, like I said, once they're gone, they're gone. And for a limited time only, if you use the promo code CBG19, you can get $50 off. SpacewolfLimited.com. It's a fucking piece of wood. Check them out.
Oh my gosh, this episode is just jam-packed. How are you going to talk about all this stuff?
I don't know. We'll find a way, robot.
Which one are you going to talk about first? Space movie or the monkey movie?
We'll do space movie first. We'll do space movie, space comic, and then monkey movie. I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was a really strong entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They've had two really solid movies come out this year. You had Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and then this one. So that bodes very well for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I was really curious to see how they're going to execute this movie, and they decided to go with the origin story with how the band got together, which I was kind of hoping they weren't going to do that, but they did it, and it was fine.
Let's start somewhere.
You gotta start somewhere. But I'm really looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where it's just like, let's go and have fun. But this movie is a very character-driven movie, which I like a lot. I always love really colorful, fun characters. So let's get into talking about the characters.
Ooh, tell me about the characters.
Oh my gosh, I thought that Chris Pratt as Star-Lord was perfect. I think he made me like Star-Lord more than he is in the comics.
Who? Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw.
I was shocked with how well Rocket Raccoon came out, but it totally worked.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
And Groot was my absolute favorite, and surprisingly, whenever you cast like a wrestler in acting, in movies and stuff, sometimes it doesn't turn out so good, but Batista did great as Drax. He had one of my favorite lines in the movie, "Nothing goes over my head. I have very fast reflexes and I'll catch it." It's so funny. I love that he's so literal. They don't understand metaphor. That's like fucking hilarious. That's such a good idea.
What about the story?
The story was good. Like I said, it's just getting the band together. You go through all their different origins and things like that and where they came from. I think they did that pretty good though. They didn't like spend too much time on any one character. And it's just like really about these misfits like coming together and forming a friendship. Something that they normally don't have. They're usually very lonely characters, so I really like that. I was really shocked at how Rocket Raccoon's, when he talks about his origins, how like it's really emotional. Like it was really well done. And B. Coop, he did a good job doing the voice, obviously.
What about the director?
James Gunn did a fantastic job, and he did a really good job of pleasing Marvel and their higher-ups, while also remaining true to his own vision and like having his own touch all over the film. I think I like the Marvel movies best where they interfere the least, where they just let the director do his thing and they let the movie fail or succeed on the director.
Is there an example of a movie where they didn't let the director do their own thing?
Ant-Man, actually. It's not out yet. It should be coming out, I think, next year. But there was a whole big snafu with that. And famously, Iron Man 2 had a lot of interference as well, hence Favreau not coming back. I really like that Marvel let this guy do something, and I wish that they would do more of that. I hope that they continue to do that after the success of Guardians of the Galaxy.
So it sounds like you liked everything about the movie and couldn't possibly complain about it. Great, moving on.
Well, I had a couple of small...
Oh, alright, I knew it. You're just gonna complain about everything like you always do. Well, go ahead. What's so bad? It sucked. Tell me. What is it? Nitpick it to death.
Gamora! It really bothered me. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Gamora in the comic books is like the most dangerous woman in the galaxy. She is not to be trifled with, and I would say that she is fucking more badass than Peter Quill, okay? She's one of like the biggest badasses on the team. I mean, everybody's a badass, but she is super fucking crazy tough, right? And in the movie, that really didn't come across. You know, she kind of loses one of her own fights, has to be saved by men, things like that, which I felt doesn't really make sense, especially because she's like an alien, so she could be super strong, and like it makes sense.
Okay, I guess that's kind of a legit criticism.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the rest of them are bullshit. Let's hear it. Go.
I feel like the bad guy was a little weak sauce. Ronan didn't do much for me. He was kind of like the bad guy of the week, and then you had your MacGuffin, you know, device. And I know that they're trying to set up the Infinity Gauntlet, and they have to do all the Infinity Gems and stuff like that. I get that, but I felt like in Thor 2, where Malekith was just kind of like blah and who cares and throw away, and he didn't have any depth, and he was just like, I'm just evil, you know. And same with Ronan. He's just like, I'm upset, but you never know why he's upset. You never know what his motivations are. He's just like, I just want to kill everybody, and you're like, what's your problem? And you know, I felt like he could have been a little stronger. Overall, the film was really good. I really enjoyed it. It had a lot of really good heart, a lot of good humor. It looked fantastic.
Stop trying to cover up your bullshit with compliments to make me forget that you hated it.
I just can't wait till Guardians of the Galaxy 2 because I just want to see them be a team, have fun, go around, fucking shit up in the universe. That's what I want to see. So.
Why would you want to save
The galaxy.
Because I'm one of the idiots who lives in it!
Overall, the film was really good. I really enjoyed it. Highly encourage everyone out there to go see Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a lot of fun. You won't be disappointed. If you're in the mood for just like an adventure film with some good humor and a lot of heart, this is the one for you.
So now we're going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy, the comic book. Should I read it?
My answer is maybe.
Maybe. Why is that?
This series has a lot of yeses and nos for me, so let's just get into them right now. I would say yes if you really like these characters and you want to know more about them and you want to be in that world. I would definitely recommend it for that. And there's also a lot more complexity about the characters and things like that going on. So if you want to know more, I would say yes for that. Yes for Nick Bradshaw's art. He's been on the 14, 15, 16. I'm not sure how long he's going to be on this for, but he has one of my favorite comic book art styles right now. It is just like so good. I can't get enough of Nick Bradshaw's art. It's just phenomenal. Yes for Angela and Agent Venom. I love the inclusion of Angela from the Image Spawn universe. Now she's in the Marvel universe, and she's so much fun. She kicks so much ass. Her and Gamora are like kick-ass buddies. It's really cute. And then Agent Venom is awesome, who is Flash Thompson, who's from Spider-Man. And he's got the symbiote, but he's got it under control. But I like seeing him go around in the galaxy, and then you have these like aliens that are like, whoa, like, do you even know what you have on you? Like, do you even know where that fucking came from? And he's like, what? I don't know. It's because the origins of the symbiote have always been shrouded in mystery. So it's really interesting to maybe get some tidbits of information about the symbiote, where it came from, what it's about. I would say no for crossover-itis. This title suffers from crossover-itis, where you have all these Marvel events going on, and they keep having to tie into these fucking Marvel events, and it's like taking away from the story and making it really choppy because they gotta deal with fucking Avengers Infinity bullshit, and then you have the crossover with all new X-Men, which was okay, but still, it was just kind of like, I'd like to just see them do their own story. And lastly, I would say no, because the storyline, they don't seem to have a handle on it. I don't quite know where it's going, so it may peter out. But I will say that if you are really interested in reading some Guardians of the Galaxy comics, maybe instead you should read the 2008 run, which apparently the movie is based off of more so than the Marvel Now stuff. So there's your briefing for Marvel Now's Guardians of the Galaxy. If you're thinking about dipping your toesies in the comic book pool,
I'm thinking about it.
you should. Because, you know, a lot of people are going to see these movies, but they're still not reading the comics. Soon there's just going to be comic book movies and no comics, and that's going to be fucking weird.
You know the scary thing about them? They don't need power. Lights, heat, nothing. That's the advantage. That's what makes them stronger.
So let's talk about the next movie, Invasion of the Monkey Pokers. Go.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes really surprised me. I was completely blown away by it. It is extremely thought-provoking, well-directed, well-made, like the whole thing, so good. Oh my gosh. Go out and see it. Go out and see it.
Well, what's it about?
This movie takes place 10 years after the last movie, where the simian flu has just destroyed the human population. I mean, there's just like almost nobody left anymore. And the monkeys who got all the brain juice in the first movie, they have been working on building their own society in the woods in San Francisco. So they have like this really nice place going on. They got a really cool society.
A swinging loft?
A swinging loft. And they wonder whether the humans are still alive. And surprise, they are. And of course, these two societies end up in a clash later on due to lots of misunderstandings.
So why did you like it so much?
There are a number of reasons why I love Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. One of them being the tension was so good. It's just like, you know, something's gonna happen. You know, you have these two sides and they're trying to figure it out, but you know that it's gonna lead to the inevitable. You know that they're gonna have to go to war. And which brings me to the next thing that I love about this movie is the realistic portrayal of war and how these things happen. And it's not like good side, bad side. It's not like this good versus evil, you know, sort of situation going on. But it's just a clash of civilizations. You have these two different societies, and they're both afraid. They're both afraid that the other society is gonna fuck them over and try to kill them when the other society is just afraid of the other one just as bad. One of the best things about this movie was the antagonist. Oh my gosh, Koba was brilliantly portrayed. I mean, when you have a fantastic protagonist like Caesar, you have to have an equally awesome antagonist, and they totally nailed it with this. Like, he was a laboratory monkey, and they like tortured him and kept him in a cage and like fucked him up, and you understand his hatred of humans. You understand why he wants to kill them, and you don't necessarily disagree with him. There's this one scene where he's talking to Caesar, and Caesar's like, let them do their human work and leave them alone, and Koba's like, human work? This is human work. This is human work, showing all these gnarly scars, and it's just like such a powerful scene, such a very powerful scene. Another aspect of this film that is just completely amazing and just totally over the top is the CGI monkeys. Man, they just really blew me away. By the end of the film, I didn't even think of them as CGI monkeys. I thought of them completely as their characters. I was completely immersed in the movie. And I know that a lot of people out there think that I'm against CGI because I'm such a huge proponent of practical effects, but that's not the case here, okay? There is a time and a place for CGI. I just don't think that everything needs to be CGI. But this movie was that time and place. You could not have made this movie without it. It was fantastic. And on top of that, the acting was so good. You had Andy Serkis of Gollum fame doing the mocap for Caesar. He always does an amazing job, so it was good to see him getting top billing at the end. I was like, oh yeah, go Andy Serkis, like good for you. And finally, the last thing I want to talk about is the most important part of the film, which is the allegory that's going on in the background. If you didn't know, the Planet of the Apes films have been going on for quite some time, since the 70s, I believe, and they've always been a critique about modern war. And back then, it was like the Cold War stuff and nuclear war, and they're really concerned about that, and a lot of those themes came up in those movies. This movie draws real-world parallels to things like 9/11, false flag attacks, suicide bombings, people manipulating things behind the scenes to create war, miscommunications between societies. I feel like when a lot of people went to go see this film, they were probably expecting some disposable entertainment and weren't expecting a really thought-provoking, interesting social critique of modern war. Also, in 10 years, once we get past where we're at now and we have a higher perspective on our situation, and you rewatch this film, you will see those elements and it'll just bring in a whole new dimension, okay? People are just gonna be blown away by this film in 10 years too. It's gonna totally hold up and be such a great touchstone of what's been going on with us today. While I recommend both movies in this episode, and Guardians of the Galaxy is a ton of fun, I would say that Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is significant. That's it for today, but before we go, I want to remind you guys to check out our Snowpiercer review. I feel like that movie is also significant in the fact that it talks about a lot of modern problems and cycles in humanity and a lot of interesting things. It's not as well executed as Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, but it's still totally worth a watch if you are interested in these kind of themes and movies. So yeah, check it out. And before you leave, feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for all your latest Comic Book Girl 19 news and updates. Something I was really surprised to see in Guardians of the Galaxy was the addition of the Celestials. That is a super far out there Marvel concept where like there are these giant, ancient, cosmic gardeners where they seed life and then they'll also reap it on certain planets and take it away if things are going bad. And that's like the giant head that they were in was like a dead Celestial's head. So I was really excited to see that. And I'm hoping that if they're willing to do the Celestials and bring them into this, I want to see some Galactus business. I'm just saying, if I see Galactus in a movie one day, I will fucking die. I love Galactus. It's no secret. And that's the thing that's just really exciting for me about the Marvel Universe is the fact that they're just going there. Like, they're going there, they're doing what's in the comics, they're trying to add it in, even the weird shit, you know, and I see other franchises that are really trying to stay away from kind of doing their weird stuff. And I feel like Marvel's kind of starting to like be more comfortable with it, bring it out, you know, be like, hey, check out how weird we are. Look at this weird shit, you know? And it's like, yes, they're gonna have their balls out with Marvel Universe. So keep going. I want to see how weird you can get, Marvel, because now we're in the cosmic territory and it doesn't get much more bizarre than the Marvel Cosmic Universe. But they did change his origin story a lot, which was fine. They had to. His stuff is like really weird, so.
What is his origin?
Well, Drax's origin was when Thanos came to Earth, he killed his daughter and wife and almost killed him as well because he didn't want it to be spotted. And so somebody else took his spirit and put it in this super just crazy body that is like super indestructible and named him Drax the Destroyer, and his whole purpose was to kill Thanos. That was his whole reason for being. So, but they couldn't do that because they got, you know, they don't want to blow their Thanos load yet. They just made him an alien.
Oh.
It's too much to explain. So, because Thanos hasn't been to Earth yet, it's a whole thing. But whatever. But Groot seriously was my favorite. Seriously.
What about Peter Quill?
Well, I did talk about Peter Quill just now.
I don't remember.
And he was really funny. I really like Chris Pratt. Again, he did a really good job.
What about Ronan?
He was a little weak sauce, in my opinion. He was a very disposable character. I mean, I love the actor Alexis Denisof from Angel and Buffy and things like that. I was excited to see him. But I felt like his character was just like, I'm evil guy. I'm so evil. And you're like, okay, cool.
What about Thanos? Thanos was in the movie.
Thanos was in the movie, and he looked fantastic. His voice, though, was a little normal, and I thought he'd, like, sound scarier, but he was pretty blingin'. I'll say that. They gave him lots of bling.
What about Michael Rooster as the blue guy?
Michael Rooker as Yondu. I enjoyed his, when you finally get to see what his little weapon does, when he's the whistle and that thing's deadly. The movie looked fantastic. There was like some really great set pieces. The color palette was just phenomenal. Like, it's the best color palette in a Marvel movie that I've seen. I would give them the award for color palette for sure.
Award for color palette.
Yeah, I loved the giant Celestial's head that they go in. That was really awesome. I think my favorite scene would have to be the prison break. I think we can all agree that one was pretty good.
Why? Why'd you like that?
I don't know, it was so exciting. It was just really fun and just seeing them get out of this impossible situation. I really liked when Peter Quill went back to get his headphones from that dude who had stolen his Awesome Mix Volume 1. I thought that was really cute.
I heard you've got your own awesome mix coming out.
Yes, we're gonna have our own awesome mix coming out pretty soon where we're gonna have a playlist of some of our favorite songs. And then we want you to listen to this playlist and draw some stuff to it and then send us in what you draw. But we'll keep you updated on that. My other thing is when I saw Captain America the Winter Soldier, I was not expecting to have all these real world parallels where they're talking about like the NSA and like things going on in our real world. And I eat shit like that up, okay? I will eat that up. Like you put something in there about something else, really, and you're trying to make a statement about society, I'm there, you know? And I was hoping that there would be something like that in this movie, and there really wasn't. It was more just like a fun adventure film, which is fine, you know, but I would have liked to see some sort of statement or something talking about, you know, because you really have an opportunity to talk about how fucking stupid Earth is. So, like, I think that they missed an opportunity to kind of make some jokes about our Earth-based society.
So you hate having fun. I get it. Okay, what else?
Well, I mean, it's like in the movie, they never even talk about Earth. You know, they don't even talk about it. And I thought it would have been really funny where they start setting it up like how the aliens feel about Earth, about how it's some backwoods mud ball with a bunch of fucking crazy assholes on it, you know. I thought that would be kind of
Hey,
fun.
I live on Earth.
So I do too, but I mean, we are kind of crazy assholes.
Okay, what else?